This month of the How's All That Workin' For You podcast is sponsored by J. Brooks Coffee Roasters in Memphis, Tennessee. Urban Joe is the house favorite at J. Brooks for cold brew coffee. The legendary flavor of Urban Joe will ignite your taste buds with captivating shades of cocoa and cream. With a pleasantly balanced, bold body, the dark roast lover will fall head over heels for this roast. Cold brew is very quick and simple to make. It contains 2/3 less acid than hot brew coffee, so it's a perfect choice for anyone who has reflux or needs a stomach-friendly option for coffee. And if you make cold brew at home, you can make both cold and hot coffee with your solution. Everyone loves an adventure story. Make your day an epic adventure with a steaming cup or cold brew of Urban Joe. To order this signature blend for yourself and learn more about J. Brooks Coffee, click the link in the show notes or visit jbrookscoffeeroasters.com. That's the letter J, brookscoffeeroasters.com. Hey, welcome to episode 38. You're listening to the podcast where we ask, how's all that working for you? In this space, we ditch the sugarcoating, embrace authenticity, and ask the bold question that sparks transformation. I'm your host, Rachel D. Baker, guiding you on this journey to create some breathing room, set healthy boundaries, and get intentional with your time, guilt-free. This is real talk with a sprinkle of sass, and we're always seeking the truth in God's Word. This is the first episode to be recorded after my sabbatical, so there is plenty to share with you. You've probably noticed the new podcast title and intro, so let's talk about it. I recently had a heart-to-heart with a dear friend who shared some wisdom that hit me right between the eyes. We were sharing our appreciation to one another for embracing authenticity and telling the truth to others in love and not holding back. And I confessed, I sometimes feel like I'm a little too much in the women's ministry space, so I tend to pull back a bit. And then I don't feel like I'm being authentic. I worry about offending people or that my edges are a little too rough. And she said, Rachel, if you're holding back or worrying about stepping on toes, you're not fully showing up. The world needs your voice, unfiltered, unapologetically you. And you know what? She was right. And actually, this wasn't even the first time somebody said that to me. I apparently need to hear the same thing several times before it even sinks in. I can think of at least 3 other women over the past couple of years who have given me very similar advice. They've each asked me a question along the lines of, what does it look like for you to show up and tell the truth here? I can think of several times, including this recent conversation with my friend, when I was told something I've heard before, but this time it just hit me differently. This time it got through. I needed to hear it in that voice. And that gets me thinking, what if I could be that voice for you? That voice that cuts through the noise and just resonates with your soul. What if I have been allowing my fear to block the message that you've been waiting to hear? I'm gonna go somewhere for a minute and just stick with me. Let's talk about this notion of the nice Christian ladies. Please put the air quotes around that, the nice Christian ladies. And I don't mean that in an ugly way. There's this idea that we need to tiptoe around, afraid of offending anyone. Here in the South, where I live, we don't want to do anything that would cause the nice Christian ladies to clutch their pearls, right? It is time to break free from that fear. Living by faith doesn't mean we need to sugarcoat the truth. Jesus wasn't afraid to shake things up, and we shouldn't be either. So, I'm ditching the fear, and we are shaking up this podcast. The new title is, How's All That Working For You? Yeah, it's got a little bit of sass, but this one question authentically conveys the genuine curiosity and compassion that I feel for you. Hey, it's Rachel, your go-to encourager and coach. I know you love our podcast talks, but imagine taking that connection to the next level in person. I'm more than a clarity coach. I'm someone who's been in the trenches, juggling all the things. I get it. I've danced with chaos, overloaded schedules, and the struggle to prioritize self-care. But I found the rhythm, and I've got the strategies to help your ladies create some breathing room. So if you're organizing an event, whether it's a conference, church gathering, or retreat, and you want a speaker who brings humor, real talk, and a dose of inspiration, I'm your girl. Let's chat about making your event a memorable one. Visit racheldbaker.com/speaking. That's racheldbaker.com/speaking. I can't wait to connect. We are also cutting back on the frills of production time. As I look at the process for creating each podcast episode, I've got to ask myself, hey, Rachel, how's all that working for you? And the honest truth is that it's just not. So I'm hoping you won't mind if I save us all a little time and money and cut back a little. I hope you'll stick with me as I weed out the extra fluff of music and repetitive intros and the canned episode wrap-ups. Most people just skip through those parts anyway, right? I know you might be wondering, where did this new title come from? Well, it is the question I ask my coaching clients most often. It's the question that leads to the biggest and the best transformations in their lives. And guess what? I think it's the question that you might need right now. How's all that working for you? Suggests the need for a moment of honest reflection. That's what we're aiming for here. We need to create some breathing room for that reflection to happen in the first place. Does this mean we're going to have a change in the message here? Nope, not at all. We're just turning up the volume on authenticity. We're still going to tackle the real issues. We're going to talk about the struggles. And yeah, might throw in a little more sass. But the core message remains the same. Creating some breathing room, setting healthy boundaries, and getting intentional with your time, guilt-free. I want every woman who is putting herself last to overcome the chaos of her life. It's time to discover your worth and live out your calling. So buckle up, y'all. It's about to get real. How's all that working for you? It's not just a podcast title. It's a challenge. It's a challenge to reassess, to be honest with yourself, and to take steps toward a life that truly works for you. So if this episode resonated with you and you're excited about what's ahead, please share it on your social media channels. Share it with a friend, maybe even in real life. There are so many women out there who don't know about our amazing community yet, and I need your help spreading the word. You know I love connecting on Instagram. So when you share about the podcast, be sure to tag me at rachel.d.baker. Thank you. Thank you for traveling with me on this journey. I cannot wait for you to see what's in store. And until next time, stay sassy and stay authentic. And remember, you're not alone in this.